go ahead and just type them in the comments, and we'll talk about them. So, I just want to talk about the process of recruiting. And I've talked with several of you guys about this, but this is just the way that I see it. There's different ways to do it. But what's worked for me is to reach out, and obviously, there's different ways to recruit. There's both the marketing and there's the prospecting. So marketing, that's more when we're doing posts on social media where we're saying, hey, we've got this opportunity, be your own boss, work from home, earn money on a flexible basis. And that's how we are marketing and attracting people to us. And there's also the prospecting where we actually go out and we initiate the conversation and talk with people. And so you want to be doing both. Now, we recommend obviously to be posting at least a few times per week about the business or the products. And then we recommend to talk to the prospecting, actually reaching out and talking to people, to talk to 3 new people per day, okay, or more. It just depends on how quickly you want to go with this. And so my process with this is really like taking somebody from being brand new to then helping them to, expand their belief, their knowledge, and their vision to the point where they decide, hey, this is something that I want to pursue as a business, and I want to invest a significant amount of my time to be successful here. And so, it all starts for me. I typically use, I have a 4-minute video that I use for recruiting purposes. And it's going to introduce people to the products, to the opportunity, and kind of just it's like a highlight reel of what it is that we do. Just as a teaser to see, hey, is this something that piques their interest? And so, when I'm talking with somebody, I'm always gonna reach out and say, if I would you question, okay? If I were to send you a short 4-minute video that explains how my business works and what I do, would you be open to taking a look at it? Right? Our job is just to open the door and just to get people to look, just to say, hey, here's what I'm doing. I found an awesome way to be able to make extra money on social media working from home. Is that something you'd be open to learning about? Okay, great. And the nice thing is you let the tools do the work for you, okay? So you guys don't have to be experts. You don't have to know everything about Nu Skin. You don't have to know everything about the products. You do want to learn more and more over time, but your job is really just to open the door and let the tools do the heavy lifting. And so, when I send them that video, I'm going to say, okay, great. How soon can you watch it? And I would take notes on some of these things, right? So that phrase that I ask, I say, how soon can you watch it? And that way I know when to follow up. Because a lot of the times if we just say, let me know when you watch it, then a lot of times we're left in the dark. Like, did they watch it? Did they not watch it? Should I follow up, or am I being pushy? And, sometimes that person just gets lost, right? Versus if you say, how soon can you watch it? That way, if they say, I'll watch it tonight, you say, okay, great. I'll follow up with you tomorrow morning. So tomorrow morning you reach out, and the question I always ask is, hey, how's it going? Hope you're having a great day. Did you have a chance to watch the video that I sent you? And if they say no, I say, okay, great, no problem. I know life happens. Well, how soon could you watch it, right? Same thing. How soon can you watch it? And that way, I just keep following up and to see until they watch it. So let's just say awesome. Thanks, Natalie, for your comment. So, and then let's just say if they say, yes, I watched it, I always kind of, make sure to start off right after they say, yes, they watched it. I say, okay, great. What did you like from what you saw? Okay. So that way you get them focused on the positive, on what they liked. And that way, where to focus your attention. Maybe they like the income opportunity, or they like the products, or, whatever it is. And that way, kind of what to focus on, what may be the key points that will most interest them into getting started. And so from there, if they're really positive about it, then I'll kind of say, hey, I'll share my story a little bit, how things have gone for me. And I'll just say, hey, the first step is to just do a post about our whitening toothpaste. And this is typically on chat still. So, hey, the first step is to do a post about our whitening toothpaste. I can show you how to do a post today to start making money right away. And so I say, when would be a good time for us to talk so I can, walk you through how to do your first post and how to get started. And so my goal is, as quickly as I can, is to take it from being online on social media to the phone or to Zoom, right? To get more offline and more face-to-face, or on a phone call, you can communicate with somebody much better. You can hear their tone of voice. You can hear, their kind of energy level and excitement level. And so I get on the phone with them, and, I'll talk with them a little bit, get to, find out what's going on in their life, maybe ask a teeny bit about their goals, share some of my experience with the business so far, and really kind of plant a seed about the bigger business and say, hey, the first step is to, some of the things I may say is, hey, as we've transitioned to using the social media model, we're seeing 10 times the growth that we've seen over the past 30 years. And we're expecting to go from being a $2.5 billion company to a $10 billion company over the next 5 to 7 years. And we're seeing people in record times be able to reach top levels of leadership and income in our business. And so then I'll go into, the first step is to do your first few posts on social media, and here's how you do that, And so I may explain that over the phone, or I may just have them watch the Getting Started Part 1 video, okay? But you want to keep it very, very simple. You don't need to tell them, how you get your post boosted, and you don't add them to the boost groups. You don't even need to add them to the training page on Facebook yet. It's just tell them enough to do their first post, right? I have a template for you and a before and after picture. You can tell them, hey, if you want to customize a template a little bit, so if it's your personality, that's great. Add a personal picture of you smiling with the before and after picture to make it more genuine and authentic, and set the post to public. That's it, right? You don't need to explain, we're going to go get 10 comments and 10 likes, and we're going to boost your post. You can just say, make sure you set it to public, because me and my team, we're going to comment on your post so that Facebook shows it to more people, right? Super simple. Just get them to post. And so now we get them posting, and in that process, hopefully they can start making some money and have a positive experience with that. And if not, if they didn't sell anything, in that getting started conversation on the phone, I usually tell them, hey, if you sell a lot, awesome. If you don't sell anything at all, totally cool. How much you sell is going to be a reflection of how active and interactive you've been on social media over the last 6 to 12 months. But regardless of how much you personally sell, you can be really successful doing this and building a business. Okay, so that way, if they sell nothing, then they still know, okay, there's more beyond this, right? Because some people, if they don't sell anything, then they get discouraged and think, yo, I guess this isn't for me, right? And so next is, within those first couple of days, I want to do an upgrade call. So I want to start thinking about how do I build this person's, how much knowledge they have, how do I build their belief, how do I build their vision of what this opportunity really is, right? Because it's so much bigger than just posting about products on social media. And so on the upgrade call, I'm typically going to schedule that. Then I can say, hey, I'd like to talk with you, do a goal setting call, talk with you about your goals and next steps. Right? And so I say, when would be a good time for us to talk? And so they tell me, let's just say they say, tomorrow, 6 p.m., right? I say, okay, great. And I just tell them, hey, it would make our call a lot more effective tomorrow if you were to watch a video I have that explains how the compensation plan works. And so if I were to tag you or send you a video that explains the compensation plan in preparation for our call tomorrow, could you watch it between now and then? Right? So they say yes. So that way I give them some homework. They come prepared. That way in the upgrade call, they already have a little bit of a foundation about the compensation plan. So that way I don't have to teach the whole thing from scratch. And I have here BB stands for business briefing. That's the online business presentation we do on Wednesday nights. So I'm also thinking for a new person in their first few days, how can I invite them to a business presentation so they can get to know more about the company and the products and the opportunity. And so in that upgrade call, I'm going to talk with them about their goals. I'm going to say, hey, what would you like to accomplish? Let me show you. Here's the average incomes. Here's a little bit of how this works. And my main focus on that call is to talk about why they want to become an executive, right? And just saying, hey, here's the difference between distributor and executive. Basically, the real money starts at executive. That's where the lifestyle starts. That's where the money starts. That's where qualifying for the all expenses paid trip starts. And so that way you paint this vision, and so they know, okay, my first goal is to get to executive. And I explain in the upgrade call how to qualify as an executive. And before finishing that call, then then we set a goal by when they'd like to become an executive. And so I say, okay, great. You got a goal. You want to be an executive by November 1st. That's perfect. So the 2 skills for you to learn are how to, 1, recruit or share the opportunity with people. Number 2, how to do referral posts. And so if I were to tag you in a couple of videos that will give you some training on how to share the opportunity with people and how to do referral posts, so you can keep, selling lots of products, would you watch them? They say yes. Okay, great. Tag him in the videos, and I say, it's about 20 to 30 minutes worth of material. How soon can you watch that so we can get back on the phone and talk about next steps? They say, I can do it. I can watch it tonight. Okay, perfect. Let's talk tomorrow. Okay. And then I set up that call tomorrow, and then on that next call, that's kind of where we're now moving forward to. It's kind of, we've been through orientation now, and it's kind of like we're moving into, not just doing the 3-post cycle, but actually building their business. Okay, and that's where I'm now going to talk about, see what questions they have about recruiting or referral posts, maybe give them some tips and some pointers, and I'm going to talk with them about a daily method of operation of what we recommend to do, right? And we recommend to be talking to 3 new people per day, use the products, do 3 follow-ups per day, and to be active posting on your social media. Okay, so pretty simple stuff. And then from there, I kind of, I'll have a conversation. How fast do you want to go with this? And, do you want to launch your business, or do you just want to kind of go slow and steady? And that way, just set some expectations and make sure they have a daily plan of what to do each day. And at that point as well, I'll usually let them know, hey, we have a training group on Facebook. I'm going to add you to this group. We have trainings at these times. We have top leaders in the business every morning. They go live and they share keys to success for, being successful with Nu Skin. And so that's when I plug them into the trainings, So in this whole process, steps 1 through 6, I probably in this point, I've added them to the group, but I haven't, tagged them in all sorts of videos to watch. It's just you spoon feed them one at a time. The 4-minute recruiting video, boom. Okay. Now we're getting you started. We talk on the phone. 3-post cycle, right? We're going to do an upgrade call. Here, watch the compensation plan. Boom, send it to them, right? Okay, now we're going to teach you how to recruit and do referral posts. Okay, here's just those 2 things, right? So you're just kind of spoon feeding them, because if you give it to them all at once, it can be overwhelming. And you want to keep it really simple and make it so somebody else, when they're doing this, they believe that, this is simple, this is straightforward, and I recommend, I spoke, I won't say names, but I spoke with someone on the team today, and she was, she's been, doing some good activity and reaching out and talking to people, but kind of having a drop off between somebody say they're interested and actually doing a post. And we have a great video from a team elite named Derek Tillotson. It's about a 12-minute video. And he walks through all the, to-dos and not to-dos as far as, posting. And it's a long video, and for someone that's brand new, it could be, it could make the process seem complicated or labor, like really intensive. And a whole 10-minute video, they might just get overwhelmed and say, okay, that seems like a lot of work, and they kind of dismiss it, right? So you want to keep that process of taking them from, saying they're interested in posting, and keep it really simple. And then through the rest of this process, we're kind of upgrading their belief and their vision, sharing our success story. Maybe you introduce them for the upgrade call. Maybe you have them do a call with me, or a call with Lauren, or a call with Kristen, or a call with John, or a call with Kyla. And then obviously, to really have it go from somebody's head to their heart, we want to have people come to events, right? I mean, the ideal situation is to come to Nu Skin's headquarters in Provo, Utah, and see the company. It's a $100+ million building and headquarters that house a lot of our 75 PhD scientists. And it's just incredible. When you walk in there, I mean, it's just the ceilings are like 100 feet tall. There's this whole wall of people that have earned $1, $5, $10, $20+ million. You can go to the product store, sample a lot of the products. It's just got this energy about it, and it's just, it makes it real for people, right? And so, or get them to maybe if you live further away and it's harder to get to Utah, maybe you can find out when they're doing an expo, right? When the company is coming near you and doing an expo, so you can go and be there for that. And so, that's really my my process. And once we do an upgrade call and they have a daily method of operation, then I'm going to keep in touch with them. And every day or so, I'm going to touch base. Hey, how are things going? And if I'll ask, have you had a chance to start recruiting or talk to anybody about the opportunity? And if they say no, I know it's probably because they have some fear around doing that. And so I'll say, okay, great, no problem. Well, who are some of the top people that you would like to work with? That you think could be successful doing this? Why don't you make a list of your top 20 people and let's talk about them, and I'll give you some tips as far as what to say and how to reach out to them, or, maybe we'll even just call them together. And so that's how you can dive into someone's network, because, one thing for you guys to think about is it doesn't matter how many people you sign up. Like the person, this is really important, right? Like take notes on this. The person you sign up is not the destination. They are a doorway. Okay. So think about the person you sign up, and you want to think, who else can this person lead me to? Not that this is the person that's going to go build a team and they're going to like make me money. It's who does this person know that could be, looking for an opportunity, or, who could they connect me with? Because maybe this person quits, but because you started working with them early on and saying, hey, let's make sure we do your recruiting post. And who do you know that is really influential and and knows lots of people and is a hard worker that could be good at this business, right? And so they introduce you to those people, right? And so you're able to expand your network. So one person can lead you to tens to hundreds to thousands, and that's how you can build a really successful and large business with Nu Skin. So with that being said, I'm going to pause the recording. That's just a little bit of my process. And then, you want to be keeping tabs and keep in touch with your new people. Fairly hands-on. For me, I'm not going to force somebody to do it. I'm not going to manage them or coach them. If they want to set up some accountability, I recommend that. But it's, we're all independent distributors, right? So it's our own business. And so we're here to guide people and show them the way. We can't do the work for them. We can do it with them, right? So if a new person, if they're willing to open the door to introduce us to people that they know, we can then come in and share the opportunity and help expand that person's knowledge and vision. So with that, I'm going to stop the recording, because the last part of this, I'm going to share a video that has like copyright stuff on it. So